Hello everyone and welcome to a new talk about video, and in this one I am going to talk about Burnout Paradise Remastered for the PlayStation 4. And this is another game that I owned in the last generation and was happy to see remastered and bought bang up to date for this current generation of consoles. I own this game, like I say, I had it on the PS3 and I had it on the Xbox 360. And I absolutely loved this game. I'm not usually a huge fan of these type of games, but the Burnout series was always one that I enjoyed. I guess it was because of the ridiculous, over-the-top nature of the games, and the crashes, of course, which were spectacular. And Burnout Paradise took that series and just amped it up with this big open world environment to travel around in. And again, this was one of those games that I did actually play online with a group of friends. We just used to mess about doing the stunts and driving around and terrorizing the place, and just in general having a lot of fun playing it, just trying to achieve ridiculous stunts and chasing each other around, crashing into one another and stuff. It was such a huge amount of fun. So much to do in the game. And yeah, I still get a kick out of it now when I actually got it for my birthday. And couldn't wait to install it on the PS4, and I fired it up, and it has the Guns N' Roses Paradise City in the intro screen, just like it was on the PS3, Xbox 360, and was immediately transported back to when I was playing that game and how much fun I had playing it. And thankfully all of that has survived intact in this remaster. In fact, the remaster thankfully has all of the DLC, which it should, right? That came out for the original game. And it's so worthy to go and revisit this classic game, this classic arcade style racing game, and to experience the sort of improved graphics and all of the extra content and stuff like that. It's so over the top. These type of racing games I enjoy because they're such a palate cleanser. When previously I've talked about the Forza series. In fact, that might have been my previous video. And they are, the Forza Horizon 3 is a lot more fun. Not fun, that's the wrong word, but a lot more laid back than the main series, which is a lot more, sort of track racing, more sim-like, whereas Horizon was a bit more relaxed, a bit more arcadey. Burnout is just pure arcade fun. It's ridiculous. Like, you crash your car, you write it off, and then in seconds you're back racing again. That whole thing is so much part of the dynamic of the series. There's so many different game types. You got your straight up street racing, stunt runs, so like last man standing type things where you've got to get to knock out so many other cars. And then the run where you've got to get from one place to another without being taken down by these people that are after you. It's ridiculous, but great fun. And it's a real shame that so many companies seem to have forgotten how to make games like this. That it has such a massive emphasis on fun. And although there is online elements to the game, they're not actually intrusive. If you don't want to deal with the online stuff, I think you just hit like the D button on your joypad, one of the directions, knocks all that stuff off, and you're free to just wander around Paradise City in your own sort of splendid isolation. Or you can knock it on and actually try to beat people's times on certain roads. But again, it's not an intrusive thing, and it's certainly not a requirement of the game. And it's so much fun to play. Like, watching the footage of me playing this in no way conveys anywhere near the sheer amounts of fun that I had when I was playing this game. And as I say, there's plenty to do. The cars are over the top, they're fantastic. Yeah, they're just ridiculous. The speed of the game is ridiculous as well. And the crashes, as I said before, they're spectacular. Sometimes they're hilarious. Sometimes you glance something and you just end up flying. Your car just disintegrating for miles, it seems, and you think to yourself, what the hell did I just hit back there? But it never frustrates. Like certain games, that type of thing can be frustrating. In this game it isn't, because it's so integral to the experience of playing the game that you never really feel that frustrated by it. And that's a real strength in what the developers were able to do with this, and how well they were able to get you to enjoy the experience. Criterion did a great job. And yeah, I mean, like the add-on pack, I think, introduces motorcycles, these whole new areas to explore. It's just a brilliant game, a really brilliant game. And you know, in a period of time where EA has contrived to just about do everything wrong, as far as I'm concerned, it was so refreshing that it took a remaster. As far as I was concerned, it took actually a remastered game to remind people that EA can do things right. And this is a perfect example of that. The Burnout Paradise was a game done right, published by EA. It's a shame that it was from last gen, but the fact that they saw fit to remaster it and release it gives me hope that there is still somewhere at EA. I don't hold out too much hope, but a little bit of hope that the lunatics haven't fully taken over the asylum, because this is a game. The remaster's great, but I would love a sequel to this. I really would. And I don't mean, you know, the sort of, oh, they've kind of turned it into Need for Speed type sequel. I mean a proper full-on, you know, maybe not Paradise City, but Burnout another city, you know, a new place to explore, bigger, you know, more intricate. My big fear with that, of course, is it will probably end up being an online only game, because that tends to be the way that things are going. And I don't mean to keep banging on about that, but it's just something that you always fear when you consider these games, and you consider sort of, wouldn't it be great if they made a sequel to this, and you think, yeah, but what would it actually be, the sequel that you want, or would it end up being something completely different? But in the meantime, certainly I'm more than happy to keep playing Paradise City, because it's fantastic, or Burnout Paradise, because it is a fantastic game. It's a great soundtrack to it. In fact, I'll probably have to turn the sound right down in the background for this, because it is a licensed soundtrack. I was actually surprised that I think they've pretty much managed to keep it intact. There may be some songs that they've had to drop, I don't know, but there were certainly a lot of songs on there that I remember from playing it the first time round. So that was kind of surprising. I mean, the Guns N' Roses one they couldn't really drop because it's iconic for the game, but you know, there were quite a number of other tracks on there that I do remember from the first time round. I don't know if they're all there, but yeah, I was kind of impressed that they managed to at least get some, if not all, of the licensed music back. And there's a mixture of previous Burnout tunes that are thrown in there as well, for good measure. And yeah, it's enormous fun. I can't stress how good this game is and how enjoyable it is. And like I say, yeah, it is well worth picking up if you want something that is different to your straight up racing games. This is the best example I can think of something to get. And if you like online as well, and you've got some friends, it's an absolute riot. it's an absolute riot to play online with friends. See, I'm not really into all of that now, but back then, because I always think the thing with a lot of online games is it's not, it's very much dictated to by who you're playing online with, because idiots can always spoil these type of games, where playing online with friends is always going to give you a more positive experience. But for me, a lot of the guys that I played online with back in the day aren't playing online now. A lot of them I don't even see playing at all, whether they've gone over to PC. I think a lot of them went over to PC. Some of them play stuff that I'm not really into or interested in anymore, and that's kind of a bit of a sad thing, really, because I probably would still play online. I mean, I have PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Gold, but it's just, to me, it's that. I don't like playing online against random people, because I've tried it a few times with the Call of Duty games and stuff, and it just gets ruined, because you always end up with the idiot who wants to be an idiot. When you're playing with people, even if one of them has those tendencies, they tend to suppress them, because they don't want everybody else sort of turning on them and saying, "Hey, stop being a dick." And yeah, it's a shame. I would like to try it online, I suppose, again, but I'm more than happy with this single player offline stuff with this game. It's fantastic. It really is fantastic. Well worth checking out. And it's not a huge install either. I think the PS4, it's 9 gig, the install. I don't know what it is on the Xbox One, but it's not a big install, and I still think it looks great. Obviously, it's not going to stand up to the brand spanking new racing games that's just out, but it still looks great, and it moves so fast as well. Really, that kind of caught me a bit by surprise at first, was just how quickly this game shifts. There were quite a few occasions where I went ploughing into the back of cars or flying off the side of the road and stuff like that, because literally was not expecting the speed that the game moved at when I first started playing it. And the handling as well is kind of very arcadey, and it doesn't help when you've been playing like a marathon of Forza, and then I was like, oh, alright, I'll play this now, and it was like, whoa, it's a completely different experience, but well worth checking out. And if you don't have a PS4 or an Xbox One, you have a PS3 and Xbox 360, get it. Seriously, get it. It was great on there. It was a great looking game, and it played great on there. It's definitely worth checking out, that's for certain. I would not say to anyone, don't bother unless you've got an up-to-date console. If you've got playing on the last gen still, and God bless you if you are, because I still think the last gen was the last proper gen for gaming. Yeah, get it. It's well worth checking out. So I think that's pretty much all I've got to say about it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and just reminds me of a day where I used to get games, put them in the console and play them, and it was kind of more simple, easier. There wasn't quite the same degree of waiting for multiple patches to download, dealing with gated off content. I say it did have DLC, but it was like you bought the pack and that was it. Whereas today it's like this constant drip feed of little bits of content here and there. But yeah, check this out. It's a fantastic game, and thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos to come soon.
reliable custom has been delivered to your junkyard.